and one cannot but reflect that if the prospect had always looked as long as the retrospect, how much more patience and deliberation might have been thrown into the ordering of one's affairs, and how entirely this might have altered the course of events and changed the goal of one's endeavors. It is perhaps a merciful and wise ordinance that no man can reckon beyond the day that is before him, and therefore each day should be so lived as to be typical of our life. For it is the only portion of time of which we may truly say it is our own, and at our own disposal, for good or for evil. As each life therefore has its ambitions, small or great, its conquests, its trials, and its failures, so each day has to bear its own burden of trials and anxieties, and as the daily life is lived, and the daily task accomplished, so will our life's work be fulfilled. But how few there are who can look back and say their lives have been a success, and that they have accomplished all they should or all they might have done. A great philosopher and thinker, who passed away only recently, stated, on the jubilee of his professorship, when his contemporaries were saying that future generations would proclaim him as having accomplished greater things than Sir Isaac Newton, that, quote, his life had not been a success, that he had given his time and his mental powers to the solution of practical problems of everyday life, rather than to the claims of the higher philosophy, unquote. And so, in our more humble spheres, each of us must feel that we have neglected opportunities, and perhaps the opportunities which we most regret having neglected are those by which we could have done good to our fellow men, and not those which made for the satisfying of our ambition. There can be no isolation more dreary than the isolation of an old age, cut off by the lack of training and habit from sympathy with humanity, alone in its selfishness, untouched by the joy of feeling and caring for others. But even short of this isolation of a selfish old age, there must come to all of us a feeling of disappointment that our part in helping forward the well-being of others has not been larger and more fruitful.